Today we're talking about something we all feel, but rarely understand: regret. Why it hurts so much, why your brain won't let it go, and how it controls your future without you knowing. People stuck in the past, haunted by the what-ifs and shoulda, coulda, wouldas. But here's the thing about regret. It's not just a feeling. It's a powerful force that shapes your thoughts, your decisions, even your health. We're diving deep into the psychology of regret, uncovering the surprising ways it impacts your life. Most importantly, how to break free from its grip. Let's get real for a second. Regret hurts. And I'm not talking about some metaphorical, touchy-feely kind of hurt. I'm talking about real physical pain. When you dwell on past mistakes, you activate the same areas in your brain that process physical pain. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a broken heart and a broken leg. It all registers as pain. That feeling in the pit of your stomach when you think about a missed opportunity. That's your brain on regret. Emotional pain can be debilitating. It can keep you stuck in the past, prevent you from moving forward, and sabotage your happiness. Understanding how regret works in your brain is the first step to overcoming it. You can start to reframe those past experiences and focus on the present moment. The choice is yours. We live in a world of endless choices. From the cereal aisle at the grocery store to the thousands of careers at our fingertips, we're constantly bombarded with options. And you'd think that more choices would mean more happiness, right? Well, not so fast. It turns out that too much choice can actually lead to more regret. It's called the paradox of choice, and it's a real thing. When we have too many options, it becomes harder to make a decision. We second-guess ourselves, worry about making the wrong choice, and end up feeling paralyzed by indecision. Even when we finally do make a choice, we're often left wondering if we made the right one. Think about the last time you spent hours scrolling through Netflix, unable to decide what to watch. All those options, and yet you're left feeling unsatisfied, even a little empty. So, what's the solution? It's about simplifying your life, setting clear priorities, and learning to be content with good enough. Trust your gut, go with your instincts, and don't be afraid to limit your choices. Regret is a stubborn emotion. Unlike anger or fear, which tend to be fleeting, regret can linger for years, even decades. It's like a shadow that follows you around, whispering doubts and what-ifs in your ear. But why is regret so persistent? Why can't we just shake it off and move on? Well, it all comes down to identity and meaning. Our brains are wired to make sense of the world, to create a narrative that explains who we are and why things happen. And when we experience regret, it often challenges our core beliefs about ourselves. We start to question our judgment, our values, even our worth as individuals. We tell ourselves stories about how things could have been different if only we had made different choices. And these stories, these regrets, become intertwined with our sense of self. But here's the thing. You are not your regrets. Your past mistakes do not define you. It's time to challenge those negative self-beliefs and rewrite the narrative of your life. We tend to think of regret as something we feel when we make the wrong choice. But here's a surprising truth. The regrets that haunt us the most are often the things we didn't do, the chances we didn't take. It's the missed opportunities, the roads not taken, that keep us up at night. Inaction leaves a void, a blank space in our lives that's easy to fill with what-ifs and if-onlys. Even if things don't go as planned, there's a valuable lesson to be learned, a sense of growth that comes from putting ourselves out there. Regret isn't just an emotion, it's a powerful force that shapes our future behavior. It's like an invisible hand guiding our decisions, steering us away from anything that might trigger those familiar feelings of pain and disappointment. Your brain is a learning machine. It's constantly taking in information, analyzing experiences, and making adjustments to avoid pain and seek pleasure. And when you experience regret, your brain takes note. It files that experience away as something to avoid in the future. But here's the catch. Regret doesn't always make us smarter. Sometimes it makes us smaller. It can lead to unhealthy avoidance patterns, keeping us trapped in our comfort zones and preventing us from pursuing our goals. The key is to recognize when regret is holding you back. Don't let the fear of repeating past mistakes control your future. Embrace new opportunities with courage. We regret all sorts of things in life: career missteps, financial blunders, that time we tried to cut our own hair. But research shows that the regrets that cut the deepest, the ones that linger the longest, are social regrets. These are the regrets that stem from our relationships with others, lost loves, broken friendships, misconnections. Why do social regrets hit us so hard? Because as human beings, we're wired for connection. When those relationships are damaged or lost, it strikes at the core of who we are. Regret and perfectionism are like two peas in a pod. They feed off each other, creating a toxic cycle that can be hard to break. When we're consumed by regret, we become terrified of making the same mistakes again. We vow to never feel that pain, that disappointment ever again. And so we strive for perfection in everything we do. We overthink every decision, second-guess ourselves at every turn, and procrastinate out of fear of making the wrong choice. But here's the thing about perfection. It's an illusion. It's an unattainable goal that keeps us stuck in a perpetual state of striving and never truly arriving. The key to breaking free from this toxic cycle is to embrace imperfection. It's about learning to accept that mistakes are a part of life. Our memories are not the infallible recording devices we like to think they are. They're more like a messy scrapbook filled with faded photographs, scribbled notes, and half-remembered stories. And just like any good editor, our brains have a knack for revising and rearranging those memories to fit our preferred narratives. This is especially true when it comes to regret. Our brains hate cognitive dissonance, the mental discomfort we experience when our beliefs and actions don't align. So to protect our egos and maintain a sense of self-worth, our brains will actually go back and edit our memories to minimize regret. We might downplay the significance of past mistakes, exaggerate our role in successes, or even completely erase certain events from our minds. This memory editing might seem harmless, but it can prevent us from learning from our mistakes. If we're not honest with ourselves about the past, we're doomed to repeat it. Regret, in its healthy form, can be a powerful motivator for change. It can help us learn from our mistakes, make amends, and strive to be better versions of ourselves. But when regret festers, when it becomes a constant loop of negative self-talk and what-ifs, it can have a devastating impact on our mental health. Unresolved regret can lead to rumination, a relentless replaying of past events in our minds. We get stuck in a cycle of negative thinking, obsessing over things we can't change, and berating ourselves for past mistakes. This type of chronic rumination is a breeding ground for anxiety and depression. If you find yourself trapped in a cycle of regret-fueled anxiety or depression, it's crucial to seek professional help. A therapist can provide you with the tools and strategies you need to break free from negative thought patterns. We've spent a lot of time talking about the downsides of regret, the pain it causes, the ways it can hold us back. But here's the thing about regret. It doesn't have to be a life sentence. In fact, processed correctly, regret can be a powerful catalyst for growth and transformation. Think of regret as a signal, a message from your inner self telling you that something needs to change. It's an opportunity to reflect on your values, your priorities, and your aspirations. Instead of dwelling on the past, ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? How can I use this regret to make better choices in the future? It's about reframing regret as a teacher, a guide on your journey of self-discovery. Remember, you are not your regrets. Embrace the lessons of your past and use them to create a brighter, more fulfilling future. Regret is a powerful emotion, but it doesn't have to control you. By understanding how regret works, by recognizing its influence on your thoughts and behaviors, you can start to break free from its grip. Remember, the past is over. You can't change it, but you can change how you react to it. Choose to focus on the present moment, on the opportunities that lie ahead. Choose to learn from your mistakes, to forgive yourself, and to move forward with courage and compassion. You are capable of creating a life filled with joy, purpose, and meaning.